with all the things that's going on, I lost track, I felt so strong. I got you on my mind, but
Hey guys, it's Himani. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another travel vlog. We are at Boston Airport right now. It's 7 in the morning and today we are going to Alberta in Canada, which is famous for Banff National Park, and we are very excited for this trip because Banff has long been on our bucket list and we are finally going there, and more so because it's Ashish's birthday trip. It's his birthday tomorrow, so we are very excited. Also, it is summers in Boston right now, but it's going to be very cold in Banff, so we had a lot of winter stuff to pack, which was a big challenge honestly, but somehow I managed to pack in one medium bag and two carry-on bags for the two of us. It's a 7-day long trip, so that actually feels like an achievement, and yeah, very excited. Let's go. We took a flight from Boston to Calgary in Canada, which is the closest airport to Banff National Park, and reached in about 6 hours. Welcome to Canada. Hey guys, so we finally reached Canada. We took a flight to Calgary, which was a 6-hour long flight, and we had also booked a car rental, so we are here to pick up our car and then we're going to drive to Banff tomorrow, but tonight we're going to stay in Calgary. We're very tired right now, so just want to grab something to eat and go to a hotel to rest. And that is Ashish at the counter. We grabbed some sandwiches on the way to our hotel and also made a quick stop at the superstore to buy some snacks for our drive tomorrow. And by the way, can you imagine, it's 9:50 p.m. right now and there's still sunlight. The days here in summers are insanely long. And my birthday boy also got his birthday cake at midnight. Good morning guys, it's our first morning in Alberta, Canada, and it is cold here. I'm so glad we got winter clothes here. We just had our breakfast and we are checking out from our Calgary hotel to drive to the Jasper National Park today. Jasper National Park is the biggest national park in Canadian Rockies and it's famous for Athabasca Glacier. So we'll literally be walking on a glacier today and we're so excited for that. But before that, we're going to go to two of very pretty lakes that comes on the way to Jasper. So people usually start their itinerary from Banff and then drive to Jasper, but we are doing the opposite. So yeah, very excited. Hi birthday boy.
Hello. Good morning.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Enjoying your trip so far?
Yes.
And we started with what's considered to be one of the best road trips in the world. The road trip from Calgary to Jasper takes you through the breathtaking landscapes of Alberta and the natural splendor of Canada. It's a 415-kilometer drive, including the 232-kilometer stretch of the Icefields Parkway that's considered to be Alberta's most scenic highway. And you can cover this whole distance in about 4 hours and 30 minutes if you go non-stop. However, there are so many stunning sights that you can visit on the way. A Parks Canada pass is necessary to drive between Banff and Jasper. And the first stop we made was at Bow Lake. And guess what? The lake was frozen, which honestly shook us a little as we were expecting all the lakes to have been thawed by now. But it was stunning, which made us forget everything and just be in the moment. We hiked a little from the main road to go to the lake level and got some gorgeous views. Bow Lake is a beautiful glacial lake offering spectacular views of the Crowfoot Glacier and the surrounding mountains. The lakes here usually thaw in May or June, but we are here in the first week of June and this one was still frozen. Also, along its shore, a little off the Icefields Parkway, lies the lodge, and you can find nice public restrooms at the nearby parking area. Another famous lake that's very close to Bow Lake is Peyto Lake. So we drove a little further, parked our car in the parking lot, and started our hike to view this popular Banff Lake. The 15-minute walking trail to the lookout point was again full of snow.
Where are you going?
Woo! Peyto Lake.
How far is it?
No idea, but I just hope it's worth all the hike. And when we just thought of turning back midway, a hiker coming back from the viewpoint told us that this lake was thawed and gorgeous and it was worth all the hike. And he was absolutely right. We soon reached the observation deck and just look at this. A stunning turquoise blue lake. Sitting at an elevation of 1880 meters, Peyto Lake is named after Bill Peyto, one of the early guides of the park back in the 1900s. With a unique wolf head shape, this lake has a maximum depth of around 90 meters and owes its dazzling blue hue to the glacier-fed waters from the Peyto Glacier. This is a natural phenomenon where the glaciers grind rock down into a rock flour that flows into the lake. This rock flour then refracts the light and gives off a vivid blue or teal color. And this, by the way, is the same location where many scenes of the film Koi Mil Gaya were shot. I so wanted to dance, but there were so many people around. It's a breathtaking sight to see and a must-visit stop along the Icefields Parkway. Driving further about 36 kilometers, we came across the crossing, which is the only place on this highway for basic services including public bathrooms, a gas station and a restaurant. You won't find any other gas station till Jasper now, which is about 150 kilometers from here, so make sure to fill up. We drove further on the scenic Icefields Parkway, also known as Highway 93, admiring the beauty of these awe-inspiring mountains. Also, little to no cell phone service is available at the Icefields Parkway, so plan your trip accordingly. And the next stop on our itinerary was the Columbia Icefield Glacier Discovery Center, which was the starting point of the adventures we were about to experience. We had purchased tickets online in advance for the 3 p.m. slot for the Columbia Icefield Adventure Tour that allows you to walk on the Athabasca Glacier and the Columbia Skywalk. These tours operate only in summer months and fill up very fast. Checked in on the main floor before boarding a shuttle that took us to the Icefield Transfer Bay. And from here, we boarded this massive Ice Explorer, a 6-wheeled, all-terrain vehicle built specifically to withstand freezing conditions for glacier travel. And there are just 23 of these in the world. This Ice Explorer ride across the glacier was an adventure in itself. And there was a point when we were vertical. There are windows on the roof and we could actually see straight ahead. The tour guide also gave many interesting details about the area, glaciers and ice fields. We could see the massive Athabasca Glacier in all its glory. And within a few minutes, we found ourselves at its surface. Located in the Jasper National Park at an altitude of around 2,700 meters, this is one of the 6 principal glaciers fed by the Columbia Icefields. It is estimated to be 90 to 300 meters thick and is about 6 kilometers long. It is estimated that it takes at least 200 years for snow to turn into ice to form the glacier ice sheets. The tour gave us time to explore the glacier within a marked section and take photos. Also make sure to bring an empty water bottle here to fill up and drink this fresh glacial water directly from its source. The feeling of stepping foot on this ancient ice was unparalleled. This once-in-a-lifetime experience is a must for anyone visiting the Icefields Parkway. We hopped back onto the Ice Explorer to drive off the glacier. Then back onto the charter bus. The entire tour, including the Skywalk, takes around 2 to 3 hours, so make sure to carry some snacks with you. And now the grand finale to this experience was a trip over to the Columbia Skywalk. A glass-floored observation platform 918 feet in the air overlooking glacier-formed valleys and rushing waterfalls. There's a cliff-edge walkway that leads to the Skywalk. And along the way, detailed signage takes visitors on a journey, sharing historical tidbits and pointing out notable sites. The Columbia Icefield Skywalk, also known as the Jasper Skywalk or Glacier Skywalk, offers gorgeous views of the Sunwapta Valley. And it was quite thrilling to look down below the glass bridge. You can spend as little or as much time as you want here. And once we were done, we headed back to where we started and hopped on the next charter bus available, which took us back to the Columbia Icefields Glacier Discovery Center where our trip ended. Headed straight to our hotel now, which was a 35-minute drive from here and very close to Sunwapta Falls. Welcome to Sunwapta Falls Rocky Mountain Lodge Resort. We were quite tired by now, so called it a day and got some rest. Good morning, guys. We started our second day in Alberta with some nice hot coffee. I absolutely loved this cabin-style accommodation we were staying at, as it instantly connected us with nature. So much that we even spotted a big black bear at a distance as we were going to the breakfast area. Wildlife spotting is quite common here, so we were excited yet scared at the same time. And don't worry, we took this video from a safe distance. This is just a highly zoomed in version. The restaurant here has super cozy mountain vibes. And we had a hearty breakfast before we set off. And headed out to see the famous Sunwapta Falls that was actually right next to our hotel.
Good morning.
Just a 100-meter stroll from the parking area, we came across this bridge. And look at the view from here. Welcome to Sunwapta Falls. Sunwapta translates to turbulent water in the Stony language. Situated in Jasper National Park, this 62-feet waterfall is widely known for its crystal clear waters and very powerful flow in the summer. You'll also find the rushing Sunwapta River funneling through narrow gorges to join the Athabasca River. Two waterfalls make up Sunwapta Falls. The upper falls that you are seeing here is easy to reach, while the lower falls requires a little more effort as you hike down a 2-mile trail. Either way, you'll be immersed in spectacular natural surroundings no matter what. Driving further for 18 to 20 minutes, located about 20 miles south of Jasper Town, is another must-see attraction, Athabasca Falls. This waterfall drops about 75 feet and is fed by the Athabasca Glacier. The volume of water that rushes over the edge is very high, making the upper Athabasca River roar at great speed along the limestone canyon. And the mountainous scenery in the background adds to the overall experience. There are plenty of hiking trails leading to viewing areas. And each one offers some breathtaking views of the river and falls. Just make sure to stay on the trail. It's not worth the risk to get closer to the falls than it is allowed. The stunning scenery, pristine nature, and various trails make it a must-do on any Icefields Parkway itinerary. We were quite hungry by now, so we left for Jasper Town to explore the culinary scene there. And guess what? We now spotted a grizzly bear on the way. Isn't it adorable? And within a 30-minute drive, we reached the beautiful town of Jasper. We first did the gas fill-up in our car here and then took a little stroll on the streets. The small alpine town of Jasper is home to around 5,000 people, and there are plenty of restaurants, gift shops, and cafes to venture in and out of. One such amazing restaurant we came across was the Raven Bistro. Located in the heart of Jasper, this beautiful restaurant offers Mediterranean-inspired fare with some local flair. The menu offers many vegan options as well, and we loved all the food and drinks that we ordered. Plus, they also surprised Ashish with this very pretty birthday cake. That's your birthday surprise! This was literally the moment of the day. And now we left for the next spot in our bucket list, the Maligne Lake, which is just about an hour drive from Jasper. There are huge public parking lots here, so we easily found a spot. And the first thing you do here is to spray a mosquito repellent spray on your body. It's important to watch out for bugs and mosquitoes as they can come out in hordes during the peak of summer. And now let's go and explore. The highlight of this place is the 90-minute Maligne Lake cruise that takes you to the Spirit Island. It's a very popular tour and sells out pretty fast, so make sure to book it well in advance. The tour started with boarding us on a glass-enclosed heated boat. And I was so excited to get the front seat, although views are same from everywhere. Maligne Lake is the largest natural lake in the Canadian Rockies. It was amazing to sit back, relax, and enjoy the vibrant stories from the onboard tour guide, including the history of the lake and its earliest explorers, along with the geology, glaciology, flora, and fauna of the area. We sailed about 14 kilometers along the Maligne Lake, past towering peaks and glaciers. Also noticed that the further south on the lake you travel, the closer you get to the glaciers the more the lake shows off an emerald color, and finally reached the stunning and peaceful Spirit Island, one of the most photographed destinations in the world. The cruise docks here and allows the guests to disembark and enjoy a short nature trail for some best views of the Spirit Island. It's a small peninsula island and holds a deep spiritual significance for the indigenous Stony Nation. As walking on the island is prohibited, the small enclave of evergreens remains pristine and prime for photography. With bright blue water, a scenic mountain backdrop, and the iconic Spirit Island sitting in the middle, this felt more like the landscape of a dream than reality. On our way back, we also enjoyed some stunning views of the lake standing on the open deck of the boat, although it was cold and windy and we couldn't stand there for a long time. Back to the docking area, it was now time to eat with a view. And Maligne Lake has great dining options like the Waffle Hut, Lake House Cafe, and the View Restaurant. And all of these dining options operate only from June to October. We opted for the patio dining at the View and enjoyed our coffee and some very tasty dishes, soaking in the breathtaking lakeside and mountain views. There's also a gift shop at the Lake House Cafe if you are looking for some souvenirs. We walked around a bit to get some more views before finally leaving from here. Canadian Rockies are home to many wildlife species, and we were lucky enough to spot some more on the way. However, it's important to maintain a safe distance and never approach or feed them. Also, renting a car in Alberta gives you so much freedom as there are so many beautiful stops along the way. And one such stop is Maligne Canyon. Maligne Canyon is the deepest canyon in Jasper National Park with a depth of more than 50 meters at certain points. There are 6 bridges built across various points of the canyon. It also has some great viewing platforms, each offering a unique view, and hikers of all abilities can explore it with ease. Featuring dramatic waterfalls, cavernous channels, and a series of scenic bridges, this is surely an incredible, not to be missed natural landmark. There's also a restaurant here called the Maligne Canyon Wilderness Kitchen. However, it was closed by the time we reached here. Left back for our hotel now, and on the way made a quick stop at the town of Jasper again to grab some bites for the night and buy some souvenirs. We got back to our hotel in about 45 minutes, completely unaware of the phenomena that we were about to experience. Look at that! We saw a double rainbow for the first time in our lives, and we ended our day on this magical note.
Wow, who will say it's been just 2 days in Canadian Rockies and we've already experienced so many beautiful things. The mountains, the lakes, the wildlife, the glacier, and of course the stunning rainbow that we witnessed last evening. It was so magical. So we're done with the first part of our trip, that was the Jasper National Park, and today we leave for the second part of our trip, which is also the most popular in the Canadian Rockies, the Banff National Park, and we're also planning to cover a couple of popular spots on the way. So yeah, very excited, we're ready to leave and just going for breakfast, and yeah, let's go.
Nestled amongst the Catacomb Mountains, this place offered a comfortable stay and scenic view. We had our last breakfast here at the same cute spot and left for the next leg of our trip, enjoying these gorgeous views again. The Icefields Parkway drive through the heart of the Canadian Rockies is as close to postcard perfect as you can get. We drove for about 100 kilometers until we reached the next spot on our list, located on the border of Jasper and Banff National Park, Mistaya Canyon. There's a parking lot along the main road, and the trail starts from where you see this information board about the canyon and hikes in the area. The adventure begins with a short walk that gradually descends through the forest on an abandoned roadbed. In about 10 to 15 minutes, we arrived at a bridge spanning the narrow gorge and could gaze down at the deep Slot Canyon. The canyon's walls and the Mistaya River create an interesting leading line that draws eyes towards Mount Sarbach in the distance. so beautiful. The bridge is the safest place to look into the canyon because there's a barrier to prevent falling. All the other viewpoints around the canyon are unfenced, so make sure to be cautious at each step. We headed left to access the wide rock slabs above the canyon while still maintaining a good distance from the edge and got some beautiful views. This is a delightful place to sit and relax while listening to the rushing water. On our way back to the parking lot, we found the bit of incline a bit strenuous for a few minutes, but had a good overall experience. Mistaya Canyon was well worth stopping at. We were very close to Banff now, but first wanted to cover a famous lake in the nearby Yoho National Park as well. So took the Trans-Canada Highway as we were now on our way to Emerald Lake. Located in British Columbia, Emerald Lake is the largest lake in Yoho National Park and is surrounded by President Mountain Range. And it's pretty easy to figure out where it gets its name. Look at that color. Two of the most popular activities here are a gentle canoe ride across its surface or a leisurely hike and picnic along the shoreline. With an easy walking trail of 5.2 kilometers around the lake, it's appropriate for families and those looking for an easy hike. There's also a bridge near the parking lot that leads to the Emerald Lake Lodge, and the views are stunning from every point. Moving on, we finally reached the world-famous mountain town of Banff, which was now our home for the next couple of days. The first thing we had planned on doing here was to hop on the Banff Gondola ride as we had booked a 3 p.m. slot. But this is what happened.
Hey guys, we just reached Banff Town, but there has been a goof up. We had the Banff Gondola booking for 3:10 p.m. and we just got to know that all the parkings here are full. So unfortunately, we have to park our car at the public parking and then we'll have to take a transit to the gondola. So we couldn't make it on time and now our Banff Gondola ride has been rescheduled to 4:50 p.m.
So guys, be in town at least an hour prior to your scheduled slot because you never know about the parking here. But anyways, we were in this gorgeous town now and there was so much to explore. Nestled deep in the rugged mountains, Banff is enveloped by dazzling snow-covered peaks. We started off by strolling along the vibrant downtown streets, especially the ones at Banff Avenue and Bear Street, that boasts plenty of unique restaurants, cafes, bars and stores. It was so good to see some Indian restaurants too. Dress in layers so you can peel off clothing if you get too hot or put on a fuzzy hat if you get too cold. It was time to catch our shuttle now, so we got to the bus stop. Banff has a great public transit system connecting all the major attractions during summer months. So it's best to park your car in one of the downtown's pay and park lots and roam around like a local. We got all the information about the schedules and timings from the Banff Visitor Centre just across the street. The Banff Rome Public Transit Route 1 that departs from downtown to the Banff Gondola costs just $2 per person one way, and it's free if you have already pre-booked the gondola tickets. It took us just about 10 to 15 minutes to reach the Banff Gondola base station. And now that we are here, let's go. These gondola cabins take visitors to the top of Sulphur Mountain, allowing them to experience the summit views. We were already enamored with mountain views of Mount Rundle and the Bow Valley that only got better as we ascended up the Banff Gondola. A ride to the top takes 8 minutes and climbs to 7,486 feet above sea level. We really enjoyed this steep climb. The summit building located at the top of the Sulphur Mountain has several floors and houses a cafeteria, a couple of restaurants, including the Sky Bistro that's famous for its views, a gift shop, interactive displays, and observation decks. But the best views are another mile-long walk along the summit ridge. It's an easy walk on the Banff Boardwalk that continues to the Cosmic Ray Station and Sanson's Peak from the summit. Make sure to not skip the boardwalk as it provides some phenomenal views of the 6 mountain ranges and the Bow Valley, especially if it's a clear, bright, sunny day like this. The Sulphur Mountain's name originates from the hot springs at its base. Can you believe this massive mountain was once the floor of an ancient sea? But 75 million years ago, things began to change. The tectonic plates under the sea collided, eventually creating mountains and valleys around Banff National Park. The one sidewalk on the boardwalk took us around half an hour. And we finally made it to the Sanson's Peak Meteorological Observatory, that's the highest point on Sulphur Mountain. It was named after Norman Sanson, a weather observer who originally used the small building to record weather data for almost 30 years in the early 1900s. This was such an amazing experience. We walked back to the summit and spent some time at the observation decks before taking a gondola back to the base station. And from here, we again took the shuttle to get to the downtown. It was almost dinner time, and while in Canada, you have to try an Indian restaurant. So we chose to dine at Zyka Elevated Indian Restaurant, and we are so glad we did. They offer some very unique cocktails like coconut rum mango lassi and cardamom gin. And the food here is so tasty and authentic. We were so full and tired now, so headed straight to our hotel, checked in and called it a day. Good morning guys, it's finally the day that we had been waiting for. Because today we are going to see two of the most famous lakes in the world, Moraine Lake and Lake Louise. Due to high demand in summers, visiting these two lakes requires planning. Moraine Lake is close to personal vehicles year-round, so the easy, stress-free and the only way to get there is by Parks Canada shuttles, Rome Public Transit and vehicle operators that are permitted from June to mid-October. So we had reserved a time slot for the shuttle online in advance and parked our car at the Lake Louise Park and Ride, which is located at the Lake Louise Ski Resort, just a 45-minute drive from Banff Town. Here you can use amenities like cafe, restaurant, gift shop and restrooms. One ticket includes access to both Lake Louise and Moraine Lake via the Lake Connector shuttle on a first-come, first-served basis, as well as the return trip to your vehicle from either lake. They run every 30 minutes. The Parks Canada staff checked us in and we hopped on the shuttle going to Lake Louise first. It was just a 10-minute drive to Lake Louise. And the moment we saw it, we were awestruck. The vivid turquoise waters and the soaring peaks encircling the lake. This looked unreal. Founded in 1890 as Lagan Station, Lake Louise was once a wild outpost at the end of the Canadian Pacific Railway. Today, this lake and its surrounding area offers some of the finest hiking, skiing and sightseeing in the world. Named after Alberta's Governor-General's wife, Princess Louise, Duchess of Argyll, in 1884, Lake Louise has drawn visitors to the Canadian Rockies for over a century. It can attribute its brilliant blue color to glacier waters full of rock flour that refracts the light, and has a spectacular backdrop of Mount Victoria topped by a massive hanging glacier. The glacial creeks converging at the far end of the lake makes it look so beautiful. Lake Louise is not very large, at only 2 kilometers in length and 0.5 kilometer wide, and reaches a depth of more than 220 feet. You can either soak in the views from the shore or float on the glacial waters in those bright red kayaks. Several hikes take off from the lakefront. However, we decided to just take a stroll along the shoreline. A quick tip, follow the lakeshore trail to the back of the lake to escape the crowds. Once you were done here, we hopped onto the Lake Connector shuttle that took us to Moraine Lake. We had heard that the Rockpile Trail offers some of the best views of Moraine Lake. Look for Trailhead on the left about halfway down the parking lot. Continue on the trail for about 0.5 miles and you will come across piles of rocks. And this is what you get to see from here. Welcome to the majestic, the iconic Moraine Lake. One of Banff's most popular locations, Moraine Lake is a stunning turquoise gem cradled by the Valley of the Ten Peaks. This is the same view that once graced Canada's $20 bill and is a sight straight out of a dream. Moraine Lake is located 14 kilometers southeast of Lake Louise and has an elevation of 6,181 feet. Its reputation as a world-class natural wonder makes total sense when you're actually standing here, gazing out at the brilliant blue waters and the surrounding peaks. And what makes this place even more special is that it can be accessed only for a short time each year from June to early October. Since it lies at a high elevation and is accessed by a tiny road, it is prone to high avalanche risk, and the road is closed to all vehicles during winter. We're so glad we could make it. All in all, Moraine Lake is a site that lives up to the hype. We roamed around a little in the surrounding area as well, like the Moraine Lake Lodge, which is the only lodging at Moraine Lake, and also got some views of the lake from different points. And finally took a shuttle back to where our car was parked. The images we saw today will surely last with us for a lifetime. Headed back to Banff Town again, taking in this beautiful scenery. It was 8 p.m. right now, although it doesn't look like, and since it was a cloudy day, the town was looking even more beautiful. We were literally starving, so got some food packed, headed back to a hotel and got some rest. Hello, it's the morning of June 9th, 2024, the day of ICC Men's T20 World Cup India versus Pakistan. And there is no way we could miss this match.
Good morning guys, it's India-Pakistan T20 World Cup cricket match today, and we were actually trying to find out if any of the sports bars or restaurants will be hosting a screening today, but most of them open up late, about 10 to 11 am, and the match starts at 8:30 am, so we are watching it on the phone right now because obviously we cannot afford to miss the match.
However, the internet connection in our hotel got spotty, so we headed out to the downtown area to see if we could watch the match there while also having our breakfast. Also, this was our last day here, so we had already packed all our luggage and checked out of the hotel. We reached Banff downtown in about 5 to 7 minutes. And the only place we wanted to have our breakfast at was the White Bark Cafe. When it comes to finding the best coffee in Banff, the one name that's often mentioned is White Bark. Located at the Banff Aspen Lodge, it's an independent coffee house that offers everything from coffee to specialty creations. And they have a patio too, where you can take in the mountain views while enjoying your meal. Plus, there was full signal in our phones, so we could watch the match. Took a little stroll along these beautiful streets again before finally leaving the town. We had to catch a flight back home from Calgary tonight, but there's one more town in these mountains that we had to see before we finally leave: Canmore. A beautiful town in Alberta, Canada, just 25 kilometers from Banff and about 100 kilometers west of Calgary, Canmore is far less heard about internationally, but is well worth a visit either on its own or in conjunction with Banff. The name Canmore was taken from a small town in Scotland and means great head or chief in the Gaelic language. The small Canadian mountain town has plenty to offer visitors, including many attractions, boutiques, art galleries, restaurants, hiking and biking trails, and stunning views. The valley carved by glaciers during the Ice Age is dramatic, with high mountain walls that flank the town. Also, accommodation prices in Canmore are more affordable compared to Banff, making it a cost-effective and less crowded alternative for travelers. We made a quick ice cream stop here to get a feel of the town, and to stroll along the 8th Street or the main street that turns into a pedestrian and cyclist zone in summers. It was great to see everyone walking and enjoying the patios that spill out onto the streets. The weather was getting hot now, so I changed in the car and we left for Calgary while continuing to watch the match. And by the way, India won the match that day.
Look at the fans, the partners, the players. That's what they love. They're the moments you love when you finish the game, that winning moment's there.
We reached Calgary within an hour. And while still having quite some time before getting to the airport, we quickly decided to drive past some famous attractions of the city for a quick view. This included Calgary Tower, a 191-meter tall iconic landmark built in 1968 that offers 360-degree views of the city. Wonderland statue in front of the Bow Building, a famous 12-meter high metal sculpture that resembles a girl's head. Driving further, we came across a lively pedestrian street called Stephen Avenue Walk that's also a National Historic Site and a hub for entertainment and dining. And lastly, we saw the beautiful Peace Bridge that was designed by world-renowned architect Santiago Calatrava and spans the Bow River in downtown Calgary. And the Bow River Pathway, where one could enjoy walking, running or cycling with these gorgeous downtown views. We now headed straight to the airport, returned our rental car and took our flight back to Boston. From crystal clear blue lakes to abundant wildlife, incredible mountains and roaring waterfalls, this was truly the trip of a lifetime. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and found it helpful. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you later. Bye.